think they,
Yeah.
are they stainless?
Which ones?
The one that you said on the phone on, that 50-pound box your phone's on.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it ain't open.
These are ARC 80 pipeliner.
Oh yeah, they're, yep. Yep. I bought them over,
8010s.
I bought them over at Longfellow at the sale. Absolutely.
Try them out. My grandpa had some rods. Well, there goes that. Oh well. That I'm not sure what they were. They're really long ones. They're probably a third longer than your normal rod, and they're 1/4 inch diameter, just white flux. I don't know what they were. The flux coating wasn't real heavy on it.
Oh, they weren't braiding rods?
No, they were. Imagine they're like that long, white flux, 1/4 inch. What?
1/4 inch, you say? So
Yeah, no markings on them.
I don't know.
Going by the old Airco manual, although I don't know.
Them ain't very old. They're the ones I just bought them a couple of years ago to sale.
My best bet.
They're the ones that I think they're the braiding rods there. That's what I think they are. The 1/4 inch here, I don't know what for the number.
There's something on it. Where arc?
That's what it says.
See, a lot of
WA something on
Pennsylvania used to make so many welding rods. There's so many companies used to be based out of Pennsylvania. I think it's all gone now. WH, where arc?
And some of these here were used on the, he done some welding for the railroad, and some of them was for railroad irons too.
I'll put this back then. I'm just sitting to the side for the moment.
Them I know are braiding rods there.
Alright. Trying to make a stack so I can look at it from the bottom up. P&H arc welding electrodes.
They're 1/2 inch, I think, or they 1/4.
Oh, those are probably 1/2 inch.
Yeah, they're half. That's what I said. If they were brand new boxes, if you'd have just left them sealed.
Yeah.
And as long as the coating ain't off, you can probably clean this up
I think that's a 7018 just to go to green spot.
And,
I don't remember.
could be, yeah. Yep. Brown spot was 6013. I go in the other way, I guess.
Enough history right there. But yeah, I'll try to put that back then too. Just 7018.
He had so many 7018s and different sizes and different. That was just an empty spool.
Stainless electrodes, McKay.
Did you ever hear them?
I have. They went out of business like 1995 or something. That's 70. 16, I think, mixed in with it.
You're liable to find anything. He just said anything. Mostly 7018s and cast iron. He had all kinds of cast iron. He had a little welding shop down on 192, right up the next road past Penn's Cave on the left-hand side, Walter Barger. And he had a junkyard out, a junk pile out back, half the size of this garage. We hauled junk out of there when they were getting ready for the sale. We hauled load after load of junk down through and cleaned up around there. And we were just about done, and we saw this piece of cable sticking up out of the ground. My brother and I, neither one of us, both of us pulling on it, we couldn't pull it. And here was a piece of welding cable with the coating had come off of.
Oh.
It was copper, and we got was $110 I think for that one piece of copper with because the copper is what now it's up over $3 a pound. It would have probably been $300.
Didn't know copper was going for that much now.
Well, copper's $3.60 a pound last.
That's crazy. One thing I found is in the past is they do or did they make welding rods for copper.
Never heard of it.
I just found it, they're like a specialty rod, I guess.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
This got here. These are hard alloy, 5/32, nickel manganese.
They're railroad for welding railroad iron. That's what they are.
You kind of see the markings on them. The thing is, there's so few welders out there anymore that used to know this stuff and weld with this stuff. It's just really fascinating. It's like a time capsule. You get to see what they did and how they did it. And to me personally, that really fascinates me. I want to find out the stuff and I want to learn it and see it while I still have the chance.
See stuff like that there, he bought it. That's probably a 5-pound or 4-pounder rod, and he bought them off of Rankin Confer. Used to come around. Did you know Rankin?
No.
He was from over at State College. There, the welding shop out by Stalker's. That's
Stalker Chevrolet.
it's on the other side of that. He worked for them.
Probably 6011, 6010, maybe because of the white flux. I don't know.
I'm guessing they're 6011s. I think that's what I'm thinking they.
My grandpa, when he was in the Navy back in the early 1950s, during the Korean War, he was in Arctic Patrol. He said he welded up like big panels on the ship's like captain's tower. Years ago, he showed me pictures of that, and he's no longer around. But it was pretty neat to see that at the time. My only regret about welding is that I didn't get into it sooner. It was 2021 before I did. It was the local academy. Mom and Dad said I should get into it because this welding class was paid for by a state grant. I was like, I don't know, I don't want to do that.
Don't open it up.
I won't. I won't, I promise. I was just looking at it.
I think it's open this end. You might be able to get, because he punched a hole. No, it's not. Okay. There's cast iron.
I've got some nickel 55 at the house, too.
That's cast iron.
Yep.
Yep. Then he had a lot of cast iron, 99, but the 55 is a pretty much standard for the old guys because they didn't make ductile iron back then.
347/16. That's a stainless alloy I've never heard of. I found I think it was a 312/16 at work the other day underneath the one shelf.
308 and 309 is a lot of your stainless rods. Whenever I weld them pig heaters, I think it's a 308 I use in. That's really nice for them. I think that's.
It's a shame they didn't put numbers on them until the 70s. Yeah. .308L was the very first rod I ever bought. 308/16.
Whenever I first started, you said about Paul B down here, they handled U.S. Forge. And boy, were they good rods. I compare them with Lincoln anytime, but you can't get them anymore. They must have been out of business also. But I sure liked them, and I bought 50-pound boxes of them.
That's a 7024.
That's cast iron.
Right there. The iron powder 7024 rods. It's hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cast iron right there.
Yep, when they're black, that's cast. But all your cast iron rods are mostly black. And like I said a while ago, you can weld the ductile iron, the new iron that they call ductile, that rings like a bell.
Yeah.
You can weld that with stainless steel.
All state.
Yeah, 6013E is what, and US Ford is what I used to buy. And yeah, I don't know where they were made. At US Ford, and of course made in America.
No, it's just labeled a little better. I could read it, but it's interesting because this one has the ingredient code for every single rod number all the way up to 42. It's starting to fade off over time, like the number codes.
A lot of them rods and stuff I don't even know. I use 6013, 7018, and mostly, and then of course the cast iron.
Weld Crucible, Steel Company of America. I have at home. It's what's this? It's hard to show. It's a great big welding rod, like 4 feet long, like that big a diameter. I got it out of some older fella in Wyoming off eBay. It's like Corma F40. They used them to like repair those big melting crucibles and like reface like steel pressing molds. Someday, whenever I get it out of the soggy garage, I'll hang it on the wall or something. Have it double packed up in like styrofoam and cardboard. 7018 right there.
He had loads of them, so he just did a lot.
There we go. Let's straighten that up. So a lot of these are iron powder, maybe. I actually found some John Deere brand welding rods once. I didn't even know John Deere made welding rods at one point.
There's probably some, like Lincoln or somebody made and put their name on.
Probably.
We run skid loaders for years here at New Holland with the John Deere name on them.
I couldn't think of I'll be honest, I couldn't think of a better way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Oh no, I can't say that for everybody, but
I've got a pile of stuff as far as welding rods. He thought this guy was helping me, well, my brother too. He said, well, we'll put these on here, and they filled that cart, and then we had the back of a pickup load. We threw away a lot of them that was steel and hauled to the junkyard.
yeah.
And there's a bunch of them there again. If it had just left them sealed, like I said, I'd have never had to buy a rod in my life. I'd have had enough of them.
Yeah, someday I think I actually would like to start a business because I have. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that could do stuff locally, but you're all more than 7018. Scoot just back onto the rug. There we go. Put that back there. What year was that you went to the sale of all this stuff?
Well, my brother's been dead for 9 years. And It must have been 2001, I think. Because I'm pretty sure it was, because we went to Missouri hunting that year and we had all of this money from hauling junk and hauling stuff down. He said it worked out well to pay for our trip to Missouri. But I think it was 2001, I'm not sure, but it was in that area somewhere.
Kind of a shame that, well, AWS didn't start putting identification numbers on rods until the probably early 1970s. So anything that doesn't, if you don't know the code for it, that's just dust, practically anymore. That's just some stuff. That's a big. Well, that's interesting. It's got like an outer sheath with an inner core to it on the top right there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Goes right to the.
Yeah, this one's double layered too. Never seen anything like that.
It looks like it. The lines on it look like it was stainless, but it's certainly not stainless. Not the way it's rusted. So I don't know what it might have been. If it was some type of cast iron.
Wait, there it is on the side. It's a eutectic. It's really hard to read, but I can make out the words eutectic, like those boxes you got in the truck.
Yeah. And they still make them, I think.
They do.
I wonder who handled them.
Don't know. I think it's still the original company that has them. We'll see which one's in better shape. I'll take a look at it. I'll just take the stub.
You can take one of them rods. I don't care. The stuff you know.
Now I just got
Stuff like that, they're junk. I mean, you never be able to use them. We wheeled that in there, and that's where it's set because I didn't need them. And every now and then, I get in there and dig a good cast iron rod out. And
that's a 70 or 70-24. This isn't the 70-24 is not cast iron. It's like a high iron oxide powder for flat position only, mainly.
But like a 70-14, and
yeah, it runs a lot faster and has a larger puddle.
Mm-hmm.
That's starting to slide. What is this? Oh yeah, that's all. What's this one here? This is yeah, that's an E308. Yeah.
Do you weld any stainless at all?
I have on occasion, not at the job site.
If you can use any of them there, if you want a handful of them, take them along. Because I've got a great big box in the truck. I've got another 50-pound box sitting back here, I think. So if you can use any of them or want to play with them.
Well, oh, that's like all 70-18 mixed in with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Guy must have had like.
He had a lot of 70-18 rods, I'm telling you that.
Yeah. But I think it's all 70-18, just had a few stainless on the top.
That might be.
Yeah, a couple stainless floating on the top there, but the rest of it looks like.
Yeah, he had so many 70-18 rods, it's just ridiculous. You know, anything you can find that you can use.
All right. So a while ago, I tried a little experiment to see which rod would be better at burning through junk. So I went different levels of rustiness. I had like a piece of rusty plowshare I dug up, just the surface rust, and I cleaned one off. And I tried out 60-22, 60-10, it's like 60-11, eutectic. And the winner of it all was 60-10. I had like a 1/4 inch of just absolute mud and garbage on this piece of metal I dug up, and the 60-10 was the only one that did a whole bead through all that mud without any porosity.
That's them 60-10s with the red coating on them. I'm telling you, they're amazing for manure and anything like that. They'll clean right ahead, grease, mud, anything. Great for log scooters and stuff for you.
Yeah. Stick this to the side and I'll put it back. I was closed up. I thought I was going to dump it on the floor by accident. Someday, those are the 7018. This one is unmarked. Someday I'm gonna maybe get some welder. It's got like a higher amperage to it. You know, like maybe a Miller Bobcat or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've used a friends like that whenever I don't want to trip you there. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I just old broken hammer handle and lay it out of the road.
Before I did my D11 test with V grooves for certification, I went up to a friend's house and practiced on some plates, and he had a Miller Bobcat there, and I used that, and that was pretty nice to be able to use something like that. That's more of that.
I was telling you there a while ago, if you ever weld with a big
Yeah.
DC with the governor and stuff, my dad always said you weld 2 pieces of paper together with it. I mean, that thing, they just run as smooth. That welder was too.
Just a nickel. There's a cast iron right there.
Mm-hmm. Is it 55 or 99?
That's looking like a 55.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nickel 99, 1/8 inch. I have some of them at home. I do.
That would cost you $100. That box of rods right there. Right now, it would cost you $100 for cast iron rods like that. And there they are. They're wasted. If they're not, you might dig a couple good ones out of it. But
Those are Airco Easy Arc 309 3/32.
stainless. Coating coming out.
309/16. I've used a few 309/16s at home, but not often. It's like a carbon to stainless rod. And that one, that's pretty hard to tell.
The right way to keep welding rods, if they were good in shape, is to have a big cabinet.
Yeah.
And have a light bulb inside of them that keeps humidity out of them.
Alloy rods. Oh, it's nickel.
Mm-hmm.
Barely make that out.
I think most of that on cast iron, but most of them was on.
Nickel and stainless.
And 7018s. He had more 7018 rods. But he had that farming, he done a lot of the farmers and stuff over there, and that was just the majority of the stuff. He had a big old Forney welder.
There you go.
And the motor was bad on it. He had a Chrysler engine on it. And is that sealed up yet?
Yeah, I'm just going to read what it is. That's 7018.
He had a 6-cylinder Chrysler engine on it. It was like this here, the 400 amp. And it was just about
Yeah.
it was just about shot whenever the brushes and stuff. Somebody had started it, and here the chipmunks had built a nest up inside of it, tore the brushes and the holders and stuff out of it. They ended up taking it down to Rossman. They junked it.
It doesn't really surprise me chipmunks doing that, fortunately. Oh. Well, those are stainless. Those are tiny little stainless rods.
Take a couple of them with you, so they won't. Stainless won't peel off on you.
6010 is a really durable flux. It doesn't soak up the water like 7018 does. Now, in welding class, what could have been that small? One of the night class guys, I wasn't there at the time, but he brought in one. I could have sworn it was almost smaller than that. It was a little carbon rod.
I think that's more 3/16 thing. I don't know.
Okay. 7018.
Here's an empty tube if you want to put the
Sure.
something in there. Here's the lid for it. That's probably too long.
Oh, it's all right.
You can lay them in and
Turn this off for now.